Hi everyone, welcome. In this video, I'm going to teach you in 15 minutes, frustration-free, ADHD-friendly, learn to crochet. You're going to need some yarn. I'm using a blanket yarn, which is a size 6. A hook that can handle the yarn you have. I have a USJ, size 10 or 6 millimeter, and a varying amount of stitch markers. I like to have them in different colors, okay? So we're going to start with the right-handers, and then we will move on to your left-handers. But it's the same process. We're going to take our yarn across our workspace, coming from the left side. So the cut end is on our right. We're going to flip our left hand over. I have my fingers color-coded for you guys to make it that much easier to see what we're using where. And I'll put the code up on the screen. It's a key. Cut end across. Wrap it around your finger, making an X. Tuck the top piece under, making a little loop. Hold that loop with your right pointer finger and thumb. Take your left hand and pull the other 2 strands in opposite directions. You now have a slip knot. Stick your hook inside of there and then pull the strings opposite so it kind of tightens up on there. We want it to still slide. All right, on our right hand, there's a flat part. We want to put our thumb there and our pointer finger on our loop. The rest of the hands curl down, kind of like you're cutting with a knife. All right, keep that in your right hand. Put your left hand close to it and slide your finger under and slide your pinky under. So pointer finger and pinky under. Then we're going to turn and take our middle finger and our thumb on our left hand and place it on that knot we just made. So this is how we hold our yarn. I drop the hook so you can really see. This tail is hanging down. This is tight going to our right pointer, and then over the pointer, under the middle 2 fingers, and over the pinky, and then turn your hand up again. We're going to take our first stitch marker and put it onto the loop on our hook. It'll look like this. Now we're going to take our hook and bring it towards us, ducking underneath the yarn. Once we come under, we're going to rotate our hook sideways and slide through the loop. Now you'll have 2 different pieces. I'm going to have to play with adjusting the sliding because it goes in and out depending on moving my hands. All right, so we've got 1 loop here. We're going to now put our stitch marker number 2 in the loop on our hook. So we'll have 2 little loops with 2 stitch markers. All right, so we want the loop up again, the tail down. Our middle finger and thumb have moved up and are holding underneath the stitch marker number 2, under it. We're going to put our hook under again, wrap and slide down like we did before, slide back underneath and put the hook straight again. We're going to again take the stitch marker, put it on that loop all the way through. All right, same process. We're going to go all the way through until you've used up your stitch markers, however many you have. Always putting it on the loop that is on your hook. And moving your fingers up as you go across. The hardest part about crochet is the beginning, because figuring out where all these crazy stitches are when they don't look like the stitches in row 2, 3, 4, and 5 is frustrating. So we're going to kind of cheat and use these cool little markers to make a stitch marker caterpillar, which will help us find our stitches. I've got 2 left. All right. So when you're done, you should have a chain with all of these little stitch markers, and they might be kind of hanging on different sides depending on where you put them. It looks like I put one of mine in a different place on the right side of my hook instead of the left, but it doesn't matter. What matters is if you look at your little loops, one side right here has 2 pieces and one side has 1. When we go into these, we want the one side on top for every stitch. So you're going to keep it straight. So I rotate mine towards me when my hook is on it, and that yarn will come from the back. All right. Once we have all of those chains with all of our stitches in there, we're going to take and put 2 chains on our work that we're going to leave unworked. So wrap and pull under once, and then wrap and pull under twice. Then we want to turn and work into the top loop that only has 1 with our last stitch marker we placed. Down here, there's 2 loops, 2 little pieces you can spread apart with your fingers. We're going to stick our hook in between those 2 spaces. So it's under the 1, stick it out underneath the yarn, coming to your pointer finger on your right hand. Middle finger and thumb are pinching right below that. Stick your hook under and then rotate it sideways so it dips underneath. I think of this as Peter Rabbit, who was always getting in trouble and having to run back to the burrow. And when he would go in, his ears were always up. So he had to duck and go under sideways so that his ears don't get stuck. You're going to come under that burrow with your rabbit stitch and have 2 loops for 2 bunny ears. We're going to then put our hook underneath towards our body and rotate it so the hook is facing down towards those V's and towards those stitch markers. And then you're going to pull back, kind of lifting your elbow up as you come under and rotating the hook upwards. Now we're going to move our fingers down to the next stitch marker. We're going to go under the hole again, stick our hook underneath, turn it sideways to catch, duck the bunny under. You have 2 bunny ears, wrap, rotate, and slide through. When you do that, you want to do that with your hook a good number of inches out, at least 1 solid inch. It will make getting under your loops so much easier. All right, again, I keep my pointer finger on my right hand on the loop. If you're left-handed, you'll keep your left hand on. Pull under 2 bunny ears, wrap and pull through both. So when we go under the first time, we want to hook and slide under sideways so it doesn't get stuck on the loop. Then we pull them up for 2 bunny ears. Then we want to go under downward, facing those V's, and angle up so it stays on our hook and rotate to go back. We're going to do that in each stitch across for every one of these stitches. So under, sideways, pull forward, 2 bunny ears, rotate, slide back. Under, sideways, 2 bunny ears, rotate, slide back. Use your right and left hand equally. No matter which hand dominant you are, use your both hands very equally, which is why learning to crochet is so difficult. You're very one hand dominant. That last one can be a little tight. Don't worry, just be patient and get it under. So once you get across, you should have a thicker row now with your stitch markers towards the bottom or the back. And these little letter V's going across the top of our work. So now we're going to do that chain where we wrap and pull a loop under. Then we're going to turn our work so that where we started that row is on our left. The string, our tail, should be hanging down on our right. Okay. Hold it like we showed you. Now you can see where this loop is coming out of. That's not where we want to go. That's our chain. We want to go into this very first V. Put this in there for you so you can really see it. So when I hold it like this, it's that loop that's right next to where that's coming out of. We're going to stick our hook under the V, making sure when we're under, both parts of the letter V, both sides are on top, so you can get both of them. We want to be under both. Again, we're going to go up under our yarn, do the same thing we did below. Wrap and go under sideways, 2 bunny ears, rotate and slide through. All the way across, guys. It's as easy as that. Stay tuned. I'm going to post a left-handed video of this same process for those of you who need it coming up soon. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and check back for new videos often. When you get all the way across again, guess what? You're going to do the same thing. Do that chain, wrap and pull under, slide through, rotate, and go back the other way and keep building whatever it is you want to learn to crochet next.